Chanukah Sameach. It's always a pleasure and a privilege to be able to speak about Divrei Torah, especially relating to Chagim, and in particular, the message of Chanukah is one that resonates with all of us. When we think about the holiday of Chanukah, we usually think about latkes, we think about sufganiyot, jelly donuts, and obviously the Chanukah, the candle lights. But the question that we will really have to think about is, what's the goal of Chanukah? What are we celebrating? The Gemara asks this very question, my Chanukah, on Masechet Shabbos, on Daf Chaf Aleph Amud Bet. Rashi there explains, what is that? What is the essence of Chanukah? What are we doing? If we look at a variety of different texts and sources, we will notice there's a bit of debate as to what really is behind this holiday. What is behind the Chag? Are we celebrating because of the oil that was found? Are we celebrating because of the war? Maybe there's the rededication of the Beit HaMikdash. A variety of different answers. And I want to take a few of them and try to focus in on a very central theme. When the Gemara says my Chanukah, and it's asking what is the cause behind it, it is trying to have us understand what enabled us, what was the catalyst that allowed us to get to the point where we have this holiday. It's brought down in Panini Halacha, written by Rabbi Thau, that there used to be many different days in the times of the Beit Sheni that we celebrated, such as Yom Nikanor and several others where they had victories over the Yevanim. However, after the destruction of Beit HaMikdash, those days were no longer celebrated. Why? Seemingly, after the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed, days that we celebrated because of the victory over our enemies that enabled us to keep serving Hashem in the Beit HaMikdash, well, when there's no Beit HaMikdash, there's no reason to celebrate them. Which begs the question, why then do we still celebrate Chanukah? And the idea about celebrating is as follows. Chanukah, even though it too was about us defeating our enemies, it was beyond that. It also was about us showing to Kadosh Baruch Hu we are loyal and we're faithful to Him. We're connected. And on top of that, one of the major elements of Chanukah is pursuing Nisa, publicizing the miracle. That's part of the reason why the Chachamim were metakin established for us that we light a Chanukah, zecher to the miracle. We remember the miracle, and we publicize that miracle. With that in mind, I think that helps us explain why this holiday still exists even while others don't. When it became about publicizing a miracle, we are recognizing Kadosh Baruch Hu in this world. We are recognizing Hashem's connection in this world to us. The idea of publicizing a nace is not just saying that, oh, look, something happened for us. It's recognizing Hashem's hand in life, in this world. Classically, Rav Kook points out that normally historia in Hebrew is spelled with a tet. He has a little vart where he explains that really historia should be spelled with a taf. Hester ka, the hidden hand essentially of God. Our responsibility is to try to find Kadosh Baruch Hu in our life, all of our actions. And in the purity of a flame, the purity of a candle burning, of the oil burning, we're able to see the most basic essence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in existence, clear as day, especially when it's dark. And that small candle, that small flame is able to spread its light, its message to the far off distance. And when we publicize this miracle, we're saying to ourselves and to those around us that we recognize HaKadosh Baruch Hu's hand in our own lives as well as the world at large. But there's one other idea. The Lubavitcher Rebbe says as follows. Actually, before I get to the Lubavitcher Rebbe, I'm going to add one other idea. Rav Seiferman explained in Masechet Brachot, we see that Kadosh Baruch Hu does miracles. Does miracles for tzaddikim. And he says, what was the purpose of having the oil miracle? Right? If we look at Al Anisim, in the bracha and the tefillah, we say every single time we daven to an esrei and when we're benching, there's no reference to the oil whatsoever. It only talks about the war. So if that's the case, why are we celebrating with the Chanukah, with lighting candles? The latkes and the sufganiyot, which are oil-based foods, again, we're doing that because of the oil. We're trying to remember that. On a side note, Rabbi Thau holds when you're eating these things, it is a kiyum of the mitzvah of pursuing Nisa, because you remember Kadosh Baruch Hu. Cool idea. So next time you're having a latkes rufkania, remember you're fulfilling the ability, the requirement to publicize the miracle. But why would Hashem have this miracle of the oil happen? It seems to be irrelevant. We don't even talk about it in our davening. So our Siddur explained based on the Gemara Masechet Shabbos, it was a sign from Kadosh Baruch Hu showing the tzaddikim, the chashmonaim were correct. It was unnecessary. It's true. We didn't need to have this olive oil we found. Unnecessary miracle. But it was a sign of Kadosh Baruch Hu's connection to the chashmonaim. It's a sign that we are connected to Kadosh Baruch Hu. That's the idea of Chanukah, Historia from Rav Kook, that we are recognizing Kadosh Baruch Hu in this world. Pursuing Nisa is that exact idea. And with this idea, I'll conclude now. The Lubavitcher Rebbe has the following mashal. Every person is created of a minimum of two entities, an neshama and a guf, a physical entity and a spiritual. Our guf is the wax of a candle. It's the fuel. Our neshama is the wick. And it is each one of our responsibilities to light our very own candle. We should be zocheh, that our candle should burn bright, and we should show our light in the darkness to ourselves, to our families, to Am Yisrael, and to the world at large. Chanukah Sameach.